Hey everyone, welcome back, and today we're back again for another Elvis Presley memorabilia session. So stick around because we've got a few good interesting pieces to show you today. And just to start with, we have the 25 years of the King. This is a subscription magazine, and today we're showing a British subscription magazine, which probably a lot of the Americans might not have seen this. And also, as usual, I've got a few more paper cuttings and stuff to show you. So everyone, please stick around and let's start looking into this. Today we have issue number 4, 25 years of the King, and the special tribute edition of the 4th anniversary of Elvis's death. This one is, so start having a look at that. So to start with, I mean, I didn't even notice they're making Elvis coins as well. Fair play. Yeah, this is just a read up. If anyone knows how TCE, I know TCB is taking care of business, but what's TCE? Not quite sure. If anyone knows what that stands for, TCE, not the TCB, because I know that. And there's some pictures here. Another one here. Like you're doing photography. Oh yeah, live a little, love a little, yeah, I remember now. Yes, can't remember what film this is from. But he gave his all in his films, if you ask me. He really did well. I know they didn't really do so well, his movies, but if you ask me, I'd rather watch a lot of his movies than a lot of the newer stuff that's out there. He really was a good actor. It's just unfortunate he didn't get the recognition for his acting that he should have done. Only, well, after he died, it kind of sort of went up a bit. But while he was around, yeah, he didn't really get the recognition he wanted. University of Tennessee, I don't know if that's where Elvis went or something. Some pictures here of some people, I don't know if you recognise them, who they are. Yeah. More pictures there. Just more of his records here now, so that's not much more. Just a few pictures. Probably a fan here or something. Must have been really cool to have met Elvis, isn't it? Every singles 1972 reached the top 10. Imagine that. Every single he had in 1972 reached the top 10. So no less than 8 albums were issued in 1971, so shows he was still doing a lot. Look at that picture, everyone. That looks cool, doesn't it? Fair play. Elvis knew how to dress, you know. His style in suits and stuff was the business, really. You know, look at that suit. That's just awesome. You know, even her dress, whoever she is, you know, it's really, really cool. Right, you see, you notice that's the gangster side look to him. Right, well, there we go. I recognise this film, but I can't tell you what it is off the top of my head, so I forget the name of it. But here's Priscilla, Elvis, and Lisa Marie. Elvis and Lisa. He loved Lisa a lot. Elvis did. Lisa was his life, everything. And Lisa meant more to him than anything you can imagine. You know, that's what he did this all for, really, was Lisa Marie. Yeah. Yeah, it still goes on. You've got Elvis conventions. A lot of his tight family and friends around him still carry on and promote Elvis, even though he's gone, but they're still there. His close friends. I forget the name of his crew now. I have to remind myself of that. Elvis looks like probably in his older days, maybe. So, right, that's that one then. And there we go, these are original pictures of Graceland before it got moved around, transformed. It is still the same, but it isn't original. It's been re-gutted and decorated, repainted, and all that since Elvis died. You know, there's no way all that paint would have lasted 60 years and stuff, so they've had to re-renovate it. But these are what you're looking at here, original pictures from when he was living there. So, yep, that's that issue then. Right, the next thing we got here is the Elvis Now, February 1984. And this is the fan club of Elvis in UK and Britain. To start with, nothing there. Nothing there really. This is a bit of a picture of the film. Elvis Monthly. Something else inside this. I think that's the Colonel, maybe an Elvis. Another monthly subscription. Press reports. News on the Hound Dog. Elvis Top 20, Heartbreak Hotel, Lover Doll, Baby I Don't Care, Don't Be Cruel, All Shook Up, A Fool Such As I, keeps going, Blue Suede Shoes, that was famous really. And a lot of these songs after he died started going back to #1 again. jailhouse rock, if I remember this picture's from, maybe. Yep, there we go. Not much else on this one. And this page fill out the Elvis Day Dig. This century of Elvis. Oh yeah, so carry on with that. That's just the same thing, really. Right, so yeah, there you go. You can order yourself a gold album if you wanted to. I think at that time it was only £75 back then to order that. Imagine how much that would cost now. That's in 1984. Wow. Right, so we'll show quickly now the newspaper clippings. Alright, first one we'll start with. For him, sexual stimulus is his music, not girls, as told by Clemens von Bernard from wherever. And to be honest, I mean, you got to get me wrong. I do like Priscilla, but you know, she got to understand that she ran off with this guy. You know, Elvis loved her as much as he was out doing what he's doing, but still, you know, she just left him. And, you know, over the years, she hasn't had a lot of good things to say about him, especially recently after Lisa passed away. You know, at the end of the day, you know, Elvis was a big commodity, so what more would she expect, really? You know, but, yeah, this paper is probably from the 70s, I would say. Yeah, 1974, this paper is from. So that's that. So Elvis would have still been alive when this was printed. So imagine Elvis sitting there having to read this, and his ex-wife is in the paper with someone, you know. It hurt him a lot, really. Next paper. And this one is from 1969, if you can just make that out. 1969. Yeah, and this was the Evening Standard. Elvis the husband talks about Elvis the pelvis, so that's what they named him back then, was Elvis the pelvis, because he had a pelvis that rocked the nation. After 9 years of marriage, he has to reduce to, no, it's not about Elvis, right? Yep, so that's that. That's from 1969, everyone, so Elvis definitely would have been around when that was printed. Next bit here. Well, this is apparently Elvis's favourite photo as a kid. He loved that picture, and that picture his mum took that photo, and he always sort of cherished it because him and his mum were very, very close. Yeah, and the pelvis gave music a new twist, and yeah, that's what I was just saying, you know, it's true. Elvis's pelvis rocked the nation, you know, it's crazy. And he just went from one stature straight up to another. It was, you know, really amazing to see that. And this one is dated December 20th, 1972 or 1973, sorry. Somewhere like that, 72, 73, so it's from the 70s anyway, early 70s, 73, January 5th, 73. I'm not sure what this is, an Elvis statue you could buy, I suppose. Elvis in his early years, Elvis in his later years. That's it, that's it. It's Presley Preservation There's someone apparently is a hardcore fan back then and has a lot of Elvis Presley stuff. Elvis Presley supervan Vince Everett has opened up his own incredible collection of the King's records and souvenirs as a museum. And this is back from June 17th of November 1978. So this is like a year after he died then. So Elvis was still up in the air at that time because he'd only just passed. Here's another one. And this one is from April 19th, 1982. So Elvis was gone by then. But this one reads, who's pinching Presley's treasures? Elvis Presley's Graceland mansion is being robbed of priceless Presley possessions and his widow Priscilla is up in arms. I didn't really have much to do with her really as such because it was down to Vernon still at that time. And this is what I mean about Priscilla. She'd be doing things like this just to sort of keep herself relevant, even though she went off with the karate guy by this time and everything. She'd already moved on, but she still tried to keep herself relevant only through Lisa Marie, I would say. As Lisa grew up then, she kind of took over. Out of all of his girlfriends now, this is definitely my favourite one, Ginger Aiden. I would say she doesn't get enough recognition for Elvis. You know, you gotta understand that Elvis was marrying this woman. You know, they were gonna spend the rest of their life together. They probably might have had kids together and everything. And it even says it here, Elvis Presley's girlfriend, former beauty queen Ginger Aiden, says he plans to marry her in December. Obviously, they didn't get that far, but you know, I think she needs more recognition. Linda Thompson is okay, but again, wasn't never planning on marrying Linda. When Ginger come along, he was in love with her. You know, you could see it. So, yeah, she was my favourite one out of all because after he died, she never said a bad thing about him. She always stood up for him. And you got to understand that she was the last person to ever be with him, the last person to talk to Elvis and everything, Ginger Aiden. So we've got to respect her for that. So, yeah, there we go. One more quickly one, I suppose. We've got hair. And this one's a bit of a weird one. So, all his films, I guess, all the women he's had in his films, I guess, and there's been a lot of them, we know. But that's the Elvis way. That's how he kept his movies rolling with these beautiful women in his films. And yeah, that's it. There we have it. That's another Elvis Presley memorabilia saga today, everyone, for you. So make sure you stick around, like and subscribe, and I'll be back again with many more, and I mean many more, Elvis memorabilia, papers, cutouts, and magazines and all that stuff, because there's much more to see. So thanks everyone, have a good day, and I will see you soon. Take care.